Hello, everyone. This is Konstantin and our six articles to read. And today I'd like to talk about AI and future work in the context of competition between governments and countries. There is a real race for AI out there. And the interesting fact is that China is seriously competing in that space and has all the intentions and purposes to be the leader of the AI technology globally. By 2030, China claims to become the country that will contribute the most to the world GDP when it comes to anything related to AI technology. So, how exactly they will achieve it, and will they achieve it? Is it even possible? Because today, United States is certainly leading the way when it comes to technology. Top five out of top five companies in technology space are U.S. based. So, how China is trying to challenge that? Well, our first article today is going to be exactly about that. China adopted a national plan, national strategy to become the leader in the AI space in multiple industries by 2030. And certainly there are three stages of that plan. There's an idea to keep up with technology by 2020. There is an idea of leading some specific industries in 2025, especially those where you need a lot of data and you need a lot of computing power and investments, and China believes that it has all of those capacities. And by 2030, ultimately, they want to lead the way. So the first article really outlines that plan and explains how exactly they are trying to achieve it. Alibaba and Baidu are going to lead the way as technology giants, and there is also an idea of creating the ecosystem, a Silicon Valley type ecosystem for startups and technology companies in Beijing. The second piece today is about China's AI dream, and it's an Oxford research. It's a pretty, 45 pages, so you got to invest some time in it. But the Oxford researchers, they went on and they investigated, is it even possible how far China is from achieving that dream that they outline in their national plan? Well, according to the researcher, it may be possible, but today China is really having a large gap to cover between US and themselves. For instance, US is being ranked with their index that they developed in this study, they've been ranked at the level of 33, whereas China is at level 14. So it's an interesting research that explains how they can potentially close that gap. The third piece is really about some of the results that China was able to achieve. For instance, they overtook the US when it comes to funding AI. 48% of funding to their artificial intelligence technology went to China in 2017. And we're going to see what 2018 will bring us. One of the reasons why is because most valuable AI startup is based in China. It's a company that develops technology for video recognition and video analytics. And it's interesting and scary because that's a company that is planning to contribute into China's surveillance plan. And they also provide technology for traffic control and subway control and all sorts of optimization in our real life. The fifth article is about robotics revolution that China is embracing. Certainly there is a lot to cover there because right now China is operating at the level of 68 machines per 10,000 people, and they need to get it to the level of 300 plus when it comes to countries like Germany, and I'm not even talking about South Korea with 600 plus machines per 10,000 workers. So there's a lot to do there. However, China is pouring money and efforts and all kinds of government support in that space. But I'd like to finish with an article, not even an article, it's a TED Talk by Mr. Kai-Fu Lee, who is one of the leading venture capitalists when it comes to AI. He's a former Google employee as well. Mr. Kai-Fu Lee talks about how AI can actually save humanity, how AI will make our lives different. He went himself through a cancer situation and he was able to get into the recession, but he certainly revised his life and his motto and his approach. He's a hard worker, but now he travels everywhere with his wife. He sees his kids, he takes care of his parents much more. And the reason being is that he believes that we are here to express love and to have a meaningful life by doing that, not just work hard. So I highly recommend this TED Talk. He also talks and he explains about some of the China economic powers and data powers. He's a big proponent of the fact that because of the data, China will be able to lead the way. But I certainly find a little more inspirational this last piece of his conversation. Thank you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon. Meantime, enjoy the rest of the week.